on your camera. We're gonna jump right into this. I'm gonna open up the chat. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I probably won't answer them like inside the presentation, but then we'll leave some time at the end for a little bit of Q&A and we'll go through all of those questions. First of all, where is everyone from? Drop it in the chat where you are from. Where's everyone from? Florida. Who else do we have in here? Illinois, Palm Springs, Indianapolis, Boston, South Dakota, Arizona, Scottsdale. Hi, you're right by me. Fort Worth, Wisconsin, Gilbert, right by me too. Indiana, Massachusetts. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. Here's one of the things that you want to take note of, like when you're inside this room, is a funny thing sometimes happens when how many of you, by show of hands, that you have your phones sitting right next to you while you're sitting in this room? Okay, so you want to know what's going to end up happening? If you're not careful, I'm going to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, because every time I do this, then my kids start texting me from school. It's like a hazard of being in a meeting. One of the hazards that ends up happening is you might start running into each other on Instagram. So I don't know if you noticed that you guys are all from like all over the place. And one of the things that is really important that I think a lot of agents overlook is it's really good for agents to know other agents. Okay. How many of you sometimes get frustrated that it feels like only just other agents are following you on Instagram? Yes or no in the chat if you feel like, well, it's just other agents that are following me. Yes or no? Okay. So if you're feeling like that's a problem, one, we want to adjust your content in just a little bit. And I'm going to share with you like the funnels that I use to prospect transactions off of my Instagram account. But I also want you to shift your thinking on it just a little bit when it comes to agents following you on Instagram, because isn't it good if agents see your listing? And isn't it good if agents know what your buyers are looking for? I'll tell you a fun story. One time, this was early on in my career, probably about 5 years ago, I had a buyer that was looking for something really specific. They had a certain zip code or two that they wanted to be in. They wanted a fixer-upper. They wanted a large lot. They wanted all these things, and we couldn't find it. And so I got on my Instagram stories one day and I said, hey, I've got a buyer that's looking for X, Y, and Z. If that's you or someone you know and you're like thinking about selling your house, will you let me know? And literally someone DM'd me like, oh my gosh, that sounds like my sister's house. And she is thinking about moving out of state. Can I connect you? And I said, absolutely. And you want to know what's so crazy? I mean, statistically, what are the odds that my buyer goes and buys that house? It feels like the odds are zero, except that in this case, the odds were 100%. 100%. My buyer literally went and bought that house. So it becomes about sharing like content in a meaningful way and having a system for taking your leads off of the app. Okay. So yes or no, if you are ready to get into it today, yes or no in the chat, if you are ready. Okay. I'm going to share my screen here. Riley, will you let me share my screen? Let me see if it will let me. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let me get this into, oh, look, see, I'm in the middle of my slide deck. Hi, welcome to my life. Here we go. Instagram funnels for realtors. The goal is to build a system that's efficient and repeatable. If you're just like randomly posting on Instagram, you're going to get really random results. Okay. So think about it like making cookies. Is it easier to I mean, how many times I've made chocolate chip cookies probably 1,000 times. I still look at the recipe. Yes or no? Right? So there is a recipe to it. We want it to be efficient and repeatable. We want the perfect lead magnet that attracts quality buyers, sellers, and referrals like a magnet. This room is a great room to be in for referrals. Okay. We want to know other agents in other cities because real estate is bigger than your local market. And we saw a lot of this in 2020, right? We really started to see people are living in different ways. They're migrating in different ways. They are working from home more than ever before, which allows them the ability to live anywhere, right? So you need a step-by-step funnel setup. I'm going to guide you through every stage of creating a lead generating funnel that works while you sleep. Okay, sound good? Yes? Okay. So here's the process. First, we're going to set up your lead magnet in Stan Store. I'm going to tell you what a lead magnet is, and I'm going to tell you what your lead magnets should be. So theoretically, you should be able to build 3 or 4 funnels after today's class. Does that sound good to you? Yes or no in the chat if you would like to build 3 or 4 funnels that you can deploy at any time and consistently. Okay. So we're going to create your ManyChat automation, and then you're going to start posting to social media. So often people start posting to social media without having this system, which is why it's not working. Okay. So let's get started. Goal is to grow your audience, up level your brand. Building a brand on social media will bring you more opportunities than you can possibly imagine. Like possibly imagine. So today we're talking about transactions, and I want you to understand that transactions is the beginning. It is just the beginning, because I was literally inside a powerhouse meeting today, and one of my agents said, "Oh, I had a builder reach out to me because of my Instagram, and they want to pay me $5,000 a month to post reels of their houses. 2 reels and post in stories and tag them. $5,000 a month. Would you like that opportunity? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So you have to build the platform, right? Like you have to build the platform. So we want to transform your transactions, automate your system, and we want to also work with like great clients. I don't know about you, but there's a lot of clients I would prefer not to work with, right? And so how about we just don't work with clients that aren't fun, or you get what I'm saying, right? So my name's Amy Gregory. I started selling real estate at age 34. I'm an Enneagram 8, which means I'm really great at building businesses and being the boss, but sometimes it comes across as being a B. I'm a mom to 4 kids. I'm a marketing nerd. I work part-time hours, and I'm what they call a geriatric millennial, meaning I grew up playing Oregon Trail, but I got a cell phone when I was in college. In the past few years, I've worked part-time hours making multi-6 figures, buying and selling real estate, right? We want to have multiple revenue streams in our business. I've grown my social media following to almost 100,000, and I've taught thousands of agents how to prospect on social media with my proven strategies. And today I'm going to help you. So here's the big idea. It's not about having the best idea or the most clever content or like some crazy transition. It's about being consistent with a simple idea. And if you have kids, you'll understand this. How many times do you tell your kids to brush their teeth before age 8? Like theoretically, if you really think about it, you tell them at least 7 times a day, maybe 3 in the morning and 4 at night, to brush their teeth. And over 365 days a year, 7 times 365 equals 2,500 times a year times 8. By the time they're 8 years old, you have literally told them to brush their teeth 20,000 times. 20,000 times. And I'm going to guess you have a variety of ways of saying that. I'll race you to brush your teeth. I'm going to sing a song until you brush your teeth this long. You might scream at them to brush their teeth. You might say, "Can you brush your teeth, please?" Right? But you're saying brush your teeth. Yes or no in the chat if that's true. Yes or no if that's true. Okay. So I want you to think about your content along those lines. Your content should be simple and it should be repetitive. How many of you have said before, "Yeah, but I already posted that"? True or false? You go to post and you're like, "Well, but I posted that last week, or I posted that last month," and then you don't hit post. True or false? Okay. So statistically, your content, not everyone sees all of your content, right? So your content does need to be repetitive. The repetition is a key part of that ingredient, okay? So we're going to talk about leads. A lead's not a lead until you take them off of the app. You want to think about Instagram like it's a cocktail party, right? And I don't know about you, but when I go to a cocktail party, I'm not in my sweats. Are you? Probably not, right? So I'm not in my sweats when I go to my cocktail party. So my Instagram feed doesn't look like I'm in my sweats. It looks like I'm a like $1 million agent, right? Because that is my storefront. I'm going to a cocktail party with the intent of meeting the people that I want to do business with, right? Now, when you're at a cocktail party, no business actually happens at the cocktail party, right? You meet, you say hello, you exchange like information, you find common friends, you laugh, you have fun, right? And then the business happens after the cocktail party, right? So I want you to think about Instagram as being like a cocktail party. And then the business happens once you take those leads off of the app, where they're like, yeah, Amy, I want to roll with you. Okay. And now you've taken them off the app. Now that is your lead. So, yes or no, if you have a system of taking people off the app, yes or no? Okay. You're in the right place. You're in the right place, right? That's why your content's not working, right? That's why it's not converting. Now, before Stand Store and ManyChat that I'm going to teach you how to set up today, before that, this was what my DMs looked like. And I would manually have to take people off of the app, right? Here's my email address, drop into this, right? But this is what my DM, how many of you would like your DMs to look like this? Anyone? Okay, so let's do it. The question you need to ask yourself is like, when you're going to post, like, why should your clients care? Why should they care? Honestly, do you care about your friend's business more than your own? Why should they care? Okay, how are you solving their problem? Your Instagram account is not about you, it is about them. Okay, so a lead magnet is a free resource that addresses a specific pain point of your specific buyer or seller that you want to work with. So your goal is to entice potential clients to gladly share their contact details so that you can nurture and engage them through email, ultimately converting them into buyers and sellers. Okay. Your goal is to make it easy with AI automations. Okay, so I'm going to share what some of my lead magnets are and how I build these AI automations inside my Instagram account so that clients are dropping onto my email list all day long. So, number one, you need to create your lead magnet. Here's the 3 that I like the most. I'm going to add a 4th because I'm feeling generous today. So, one, how many of you, yes or no in the chat, if you have like a link that you could say, oh, click on this link to get a free home value report? How many of you have that? Yes or no? Almost, if your CRM theoretically should do that. Okay. So you already have one of your lead magnets. Yay! Like, congrats. Step 1 is done. Okay. The next one that I like is like a city guide. Of like, oh, this is, if I were moving to Scottsdale, Arizona, this is how I would spend my weekend. If you're looking at real estate and click here to download my guide, right? Or my favorite one right now is how to hire a realtor. This converts so high with all of the new NAR regulations being in the news. Okay, so ready to build it? This is where it's going to get really fun. Okay. One, you're going to set up your Stand Store. Just so you know, I'll drop a link. Riley, will you drop a link in the chat for Stand Stores? That's the link. Set up your Stand Store. I have used ClickFunnels. I've used Kajabi. I've used Teachable. I have used every platform under the sun because I have been doing this for over 7 years now. Stand Store has converted the highest by a mile. It's like not even a close call. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's what happens when you go to Stand Store. Like, you'll be like, oh, click here, and they go to Stand Store. And it's like they literally type in their email address and they hit a button, one button, and then it like automatically downloads it. Okay. And when they pay for something, it's a double click. How many, you all, actually, every single one of you in this room use Stand Store to be in this meeting. How easy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how easy was the checkout process on Stand Store? 1 to 10. 1 being you feel like you're shopping at Zara, 10 being you feel like you're at Nordstrom. Thank you. Okay. So That's all the proof you need. Now you've experienced it, right? How many of you have tried to check out before at Zara before and they come and yell at you because you're not doing the self-checkout, right? And you're like, excuse me, I don't actually work here. So of course I didn't do it. Okay. Yes, it does, Megan. Okay, so we're going to set up your stand store. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this because how many of you have tried to set up like a ClickFunnels before and literally wanted to pull your hair out? Just me? Just me? I'm pretty tech savvy and I couldn't figure it out. So it's going to be 3 steps and I'm literally, oh my gosh, my pictures are broken. Oh, okay. Well, just so you know, no one has a perfect business. Here's the point. There were pretty pictures here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you. 1 second. Bear with me. This is my stand store right here. This is what mine looks like. So this is like 52. It's a freebie guide right here for, this is what mine looks like. Okay. So you're not going to have this many things on it to begin with. Okay. But your thing right here is going to be my favorite lead magnet right now. I'm telling you, this converts so high, is how to hire a realtor. I created this in Canva. Do you want to know what else I did? I also used ChatGPT to help me come up with all of the questions. Okay. Who you hire matters more than ever, right? Ask before you hire. These are all the questions they should ask before they hire a real estate agent. Oh, no matter where you live, I can help, right? If social media, there's nothing stopping me from helping someone I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, by the way. There's nothing stopping me from helping someone in Orlando, Florida move to Dallas, Texas, and me connecting that person with an agent in both places and taking a 25% referral fee. Yes or no, if you would like to unlock that kind of business through Instagram, yes or no? Yeah. So stop like being so narrow-minded. See, I get excited and then I start getting snarky. I'm so sorry. Hi. But like it's so much bigger than like the next transaction. There's so much bigger. And this is the skill set you need to build it. Okay. So this is my favorite lead magnet, how to hire a realtor. Write it down, use it. You want to know why else this converts really, really high? Is how to hire a realtor is a highly searched Google form. So this isn't like, oh, Amy just made this up. No, I researched it. I researched it. Did you not? I'm a marketing nerd. I researched it. Okay. I knew people were searching the phrase, how to hire a realtor. Well, great. I can go back, right? Remember going back to that? Why should they care? Why should they care? Well, because I know that's what they're searching for. So now I'm just going to create content that they already care about, right? So if I were setting this up, in the chat, do you want me to set up the freebie as get your free home value report? Or do you want me to, actually, we're going to set up how to hire a realtor, okay? So when you come to your stand store, mine has a lot of data points in here. Yours won't have anything. You're going to hit this button that says add product, okay? I know you said free report, but I'm going to do how to hire a realtor because it's going to convert higher for you. How do I know that? Because I've tested them both. And we would like higher conversions, correct? Yes, no, yes or no? Okay, you're gonna hit collect emails, okay? This is the page that comes up, okay? Listen, your goal is to get it posted. So choose an image right here. You can upload a picture of yourself if you would like. You can create a thing in Canva if you want. I don't care. Or you can just use, cool, here's houses. You're a realtor. Let's see. I'm in Arizona. Let's see if there's one here that feels like Arizona. That I would like to choose that, but it doesn't look like it. Oh, this looks like Arizona. Great. Done. See how easy that was? Okay. Now we're gonna say right here. Why is that? Okay, here we go. How to hire a realtor. Oops. This will unlock referrals for you too, which those have a really good hourly rate, in case you were wondering. Subtitle 22. I like using random numbers. 22 questions to ask your agent before you hire. Cool. I like this to be in caps. Get the guide. Okay. And then look, they're going to put their name and their email. Okay. Now, don't hit publish yet. You're not ready to hit publish yet because you need to upload the guide, right? You've got to upload the guide. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to share this. I'm going to download this from Canva. I just want you to know that, remember that this is free. So literally you could do this in a Google Doc. If Canva is not your thing, great. Have it be a Google Doc. There's actually people that will prefer it like that. Then see up here is thumbnail. I've got my thumbnail. Now I'm going to click product here and I'm going to upload my guide. Downloads. Oh, of course I've got to go. Okay, I'm going to upload it right there. Okay. Then what happens is I can come over to options and I can have an email flow. Ooh. How many of you just had a cold sweat go down your spine about having an email flow? Yes or no in the chat? Oh my gosh, now I have to write an email flow. Okay, so two things. One, you can add a flow right here. Would you like to know how I do it? I'll show you how I do it. One, use ChatGPT if you need to, okay? Just something is better than nothing, right? But your goal here, I'm so sorry, I woke up. Riley, where is, I need to have everyone muted. So what I need to do, one second, there we go. So I just lost my train of thought. Anyways, you're going to add your email flow here. What is your goal with your email flow? What's the goal? Drop it in the chat. What's your goal? They're going to sign up. You're going to drop that free guide in their inbox. Okay. And then what should happen next? Lead conversion, lead conversion, lead conversion. So my goal is I want to push them into my CRM, right? So that I always lead with buying. How many of you like look at houses you want to buy before you think about selling yours? You start looking at what you want to buy first, right? So we're going to start with buyers. And here's the thing. Is I'm a proponent that you all should be working with like a move-up buyer or more a dream home buyer, because then it's a double deal, right? They have to sell in order to buy. Okay. So you might say, oh, by the way, here's a link to my CRM where you can search the MLS in real time, blah, 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 blah. So you can see what they're looking for, right? So you can understand what you're looking for. Okay. So then you'll hit publish, and this is what it will look like when they click on the link from your Instagram account. Does that not look just like easy as can be? They don't have to scroll through 13 things. There's not a big sales page, right? We want to simplify the process. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Here's what's also great is you'll get to know where everyone is from, and then you can start doing referrals, okay? So now you have this set up, you'll hit publish and it's all good, okay? So now we're gonna go back to our slide deck with my broken pictures. No worries. This is what I use as my email follow-up is I created a listing presentation that I go through. And so I copy and paste all of this stuff into the email follow-up, right? So I have a buyer's and I have a listing one, and they're each like 24 pages. Riley will drop them in the chat for you. So if you want those, you can grab those. But then now I can talk about buying and selling, and I've already have 20 pages of each. Like literally between the two of them, I could send an email every single week for the whole year. And guess what? Is this annoying to set up the first time you do it? Yes. Yes, it is. Just like building IKEA furniture is annoying. It's annoying, but if I had to guess, every single one of you have done it. Right? Why? Because you got your furniture for less expensive and then you get to use it forever, right? So once you build it, then it just works forever. And I can pinky promise you, here's the other great thing. An email trail is so phenomenal, because then your client will say, well, what, I don't remember talking about this or that. And you're like, oh, well, actually, I actually know that's in the email follow-up. So actually, here's the email right here. We did talk about this, and it's right here, right? Helpful inside your business? Yeah, I use my listing presentation in the email follow-up because this is already all written out. This is what it looks like in Canva. So here's what it looks like. This is a buyer's guide. This is what it looks like printed. But your business, like remember, we want repetition, right? So like we talk about, what is this? And like now with inspections, the 10-day inspection period, right? So then this is like a PDF. So I can just like copy all this text just parts, right? Like you can't send this in one email. No, 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 no. Just little back parts. Like step one. Oh, this is like my resume. Hey, it's so nice to meet you. Here's how you get to know me. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, right? Because statistically, the 7-Eleven rule, the 7-Eleven 4 rule of marketing shows that in order for consumers to make a buying decision, they need to spend 7 hours of time with 11 touch points from at least 4 different platforms to feel comfortable pulling the trigger. So what are your touch points? And how are they getting to know you? They should follow you on Instagram. You should be in their email. You should know them in real life, right? There's all these ways you should know them. So this is how I do my email follow-up. You also could just plug it into ChatGPT, right? So there's more than one way to build things. Now you're going to set up your ManyChat. This is where you automate, and it's a total game changer when it comes to posting to social media. Okay, I kid you not when I tell you this, the combination of Stand Store and ManyChat changed my business last year. Riley just dropped the link for ManyChat. If you need a ManyChat, you don't have a ManyChat, get yourself a ManyChat, because this would be like, well, I'll show you how it works. Okay, this is this is one of my how to hire a realtor funnels. Okay. My headline, I'm driving in the car. You can see my headline right here on my reel is how to sell your house for top dollar. You should copy that headline, write it down. It's another highly searched Google phrase. How to sell your house for top dollar. So I go through and I deliver all this value and I say, if you're looking to sell and need to hire an agent, comment hire and I'll send you my free guide to hiring an agent. 156 people commented on this post. Okay. Hire, 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 hire. See, and then it says, thank you, drop. And then this is what it looks like inside the chat. And they click, I'm ready. I want that. Okay. So then you post your content. Okay. Would you like me to show you step by step how to set up the ManyChat automation? Yes or no in the chat, like I did for the Stand Store automation. Yes or no in the chat, if that would be helpful. Okay. Well, good news. I will happily do that for you. ManyChat. Okay. Now, the hardest part of ManyChat is going to be getting ManyChat connected to your Instagram account. So sorry, I got distracted by the comments in the chat. I will get to your questions. This is my ADD brain where it's like, so ManyChat is your Instagram account needs to be set up as a creator account. And your Instagram account and Facebook account need to be connected. And it can't be like a business page, right? It has to be like a person. So once you have that set up, this is what it looks like. And this is the one you want, convert your Instagram comments into sales. Okay, so you just click on this. Now look, I'm going to show you something. They show you and they tell you exactly how to do it. Also, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. Okay, so there's a lot of tutorial videos. Don't allow yourself to give up. Watch as many tutorials as you need to get it set up because it will change your business. This is what it looks like. This is a new one. I don't want that right here. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Okay, so then this is going to connect to this. Okay, so they comment on my post or reel. Okay, I'm going to click right here and I'm going to say all posts or reels. Okay, they're going to comment a keyword. So my keyword for this one is going to be higher. Okay, and then I'm going to hit continue. And then I'm going to say, oh, sent the link over. Yep, that's what I want. I want the random replies. So check your DMs for the guide. Done. Just sent you the link. Sent. Check your DMs. Okay. So, and it will like automatically reply, like they say higher, and then ManyChat will make it so you automatically reply. Okay. Now we're going to reply in DM and we're going to hit save here. Now we're going to reply in DM. And I might say hiring a realtor is a big decision. Here's a free guide to help you. Okay. And then you're going to change this to grab, wow, grab the guide, or however you would say it, whatever makes sense to you. And then right here, okay, is where you're going to put your Stand Store link. Okay, because remember you made that landing page with the free guide. You're going to put the link right there. Okay, and then you hit done, and it's done. How many of you might have just had your mind blown? Yes or no in the chat if you just had your mind blown. Okay. Do you see why this works? I set it up so that they can say hi on any of my posts and it works. Okay. Now, how many of you are excited to post content? Now, do you feel like energized to be like, oh yeah, now I'm going to make some content, right? Because now there's this automated system that pulls all of your leads off the app. You can, in your email series, you can push them to your CRM. You can have them schedule a call with you. You can do that in Stand Store. You can create a thing where it's like, schedule a call with me. Sheila, I love that you're like, I can do this. Yeah, you can do this. This is all going to be recorded and emailed to you. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I got to digest this, don't worry. You can rewatch this. Okay, I've been avoiding lead magnets because figuring out this part from scratch seemed overwhelming. This is mind blowing. Mind blowing. I love this so much for you. This has changed my business. So here we go. Let me go here. So here's a hot take. You got to make it easy. You got to make it easy for you. You got to make it easy for your clients to find you. You have to make it easy for them to find you. Okay. And then you start making content. It's like, it's easy. It's easy. Right. Okay. Now we have time for question and answer. What would you like to talk about now? Now that you know how to do it, who's ready to post? Okay, I'm going to go through. You guys are talking too fast. How often do you post? I post like once a day on Reels. I don't post every single day on stories. Lisa, I think like if you're running into a hurdle of getting your ManyChat connected to your Instagram, because you actually connect it to your Facebook, okay? Because Facebook owns Instagram. If you're having a problem, it's typically because it's like a page, like a community page of some sort, and it has to be a person, okay? But my advice to you would be to use the ManyChat help desk, watch the tutorials, get the question answered that you need. Am I still using Flowdesk or just Stand Store? I like to keep my business as simple as possible, and I am moving almost everything over to Stand Store. And I'm going to tell you why. I've loved Flowdesk. It's really pretty. But I'm going to tell you what the problem with that is in your emails are a really large size. And so the email service providers like Gmail, they'll kind of dumb down your email anyways, where it takes a long time to load. And the statistics say that plain text emails get read more than like really bougie emails. And so we have to look at what the data says. How do you know the top Google searches? Oh, that is a good question. Riley just dropped all the questions from earlier. Okay. How do you know the top Google searches? So you guys are really going to get a lot of bang for your buck out of this little $49 session. It's called Keywords Everywhere. And it allows you to search and understand like, now it's going to give you numbers and metrics, and you need to know, it's like, how many of you like go get your blood pressure done and they like write down the numbers and you're like, they don't mean anything to me. right? So on keywords everywhere, you need to understand like what your numbers are that you're looking for, what your metrics are. And I want to say, I haven't used keywords in a minute. Let me look up how to hire let me see if I can Google it right now and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I'll show you. So keywords anywhere, it's like a plugin like you would use, like you know how Pinterest has a plugin for your computer, for your browser. Keywords everywhere is a plugin. And so like when I Google how to hire a realtor, it shows me like the competition, the cost per click is like people are paying $5.89 per click on that. That's like what Google is charging them. I like this number to be at like between 0.3 and 0.7 is like where I like it to sit. I also have like a larger Instagram account. So if you have a smaller Instagram account, keep it like 0.3, 0.4. I can compete at the higher numbers because my Instagram account's bigger. I have a personal Insta and a business Insta. Okay, that is a problem. That is a problem. How many of you have two Instagram accounts? Okay, yes, okay, it doesn't matter. This is me gauging, this is me pausing, so I am not too salty. Like, no one wants to follow your business Instagram account. Like literally no one. I don't know how to say it softer. No one wants to follow, you know, brick by brick real estate company. Like no one. Do you follow your plumber? Like, do you follow Cobalt Plumbing? A real question. Do you follow AC doctors? I don't. But I follow Doug, who owns AC Doctors. And I follow Colton, who is my plumber and owns a plumbing company. You see what I'm saying? So, like, you are the brand. It has to just be one account. And then I know what people say, well, but I like to post my kids or someone's following. No one actually wants to read your diary either. Only your mom does. So just call her. And the older your kids get, they don't want to be on your Instagram account anyways. They don't. Genuinely. Is that fair to say yes or no in the chat? Is that like fair to say? Okay, I'm not trying to be overly harsh, but like honestly. So you have one account, it's your creator account, and your Instagram account, like my Instagram account is Amy Gregory. It's not Powerhouse Group, it's Amy Gregory. You want to know why? Because I am the one that created Powerhouse. I'm also the one that created the 4 kids. I'm also the one that teaches real estate agents. It's me. It's me. And you're going to follow everything I do. And you're going to get snippets of everything I do, right? Which means what makes it fun to follow, right? Because otherwise, like think about playing a piano and you're just hitting the same key. Just listed, just sold, under contract, coming soon, blah, 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 blah. No one cares. Whereas if it's you and it's like more encompassing, like, I don't know, maybe you run marathons, maybe you do whatever, like you're connecting, like it's like well-rounded. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm not sharing the how to hire a realtor Canva template, but you can make it in less than 20 minutes. It can be a Google Doc. Remember that they're downloading it for free. It's free. And if they want to complain about it, well, so be it. CRM, I use KV Core. I'm with eXp Realty, and that's what they provide, and it works really, really great. Okay, you have great content, thank you, and photos. Where do you get your lifestyle photos? Do you do them yourself? I do. Again, we want to keep business simple. Almost everything you see on my Instagram account has been shot by me with my iPhone. So I look for opportunities to shoot content. So I shoot B-roll style content when I'm at my listings of me walking around the house, of the house by itself, right? I have that kind of B-roll thing. As a newer agent licensed in January, how do you go about narrowing down your ideal client and what their pain points are? Okay, great question. I'm just going to tell you who your ideal client should be. All right, because you want to know who you're competing with. You're competing with Zillow. You're competing with Zillow, right? And what does Zillow do to bring in leads? They created a whole platform where you can go shopping for houses, and they're going to collect your data, and then they're going to pair you with a buyer's agent or the listing agent or like whatever. And then Zillow turns around and they sell those leads to agents for 30%, right? You realize that your Instagram account can be your own Zillow, right? So the question you have to ask yourself is, who is not in Zillow's database? Who isn't in Zillow's database? Like, what type of person is not in Zillow's database? And this was a question I was circling on, like, where I'm like, well, how am I going to compete with like these big mega local teams that are buying online leads and they have so much money to spend and they have inside sales agents cold calling all day and setting appointments, right? You feel like, well, how am I competing with that? I started thinking, well, who isn't on their database? Who isn't in Zillow's database? You want to know who it is? Me. It's me. I'm not in Zillow's database. How many of you go to like Bath and Body Works and they're like, you want to save 10% by giving us your email? And you're like, no, no, I do not want to give you my email. Absolutely not. I will pay 10% more to not give you my email. Right. So that type of buyer and seller is, I'm trying to think of what the statistic is. Last time I checked, it was 87% of home purchases are influenced by women. So you should make your content look like HGTV, real simple. She's between the ages of 35 and 50. She's not a first-time home buyer. She's a move-up buyer or a dream home buyer or a downsize buyer, right? She likes to shop at Nordstrom, Lululemon, Anthropologie. She's very well educated. She might work or her husband might be the primary provider, right? She's very educated. She makes good decisions, right? You see and that's a great client for you. It takes the same amount of paperwork to sell $1 million home as it does a $200,000 home. One just pays fundamentally better. I would position yourself to work with $1 million clients because you're running a business. Okay, anyone struggle with that? Do you use advertising to build more followers? I use Facebook ads for my buyer presentation and my listing presentation because the math on it works. For every $5, for every $1 I give Facebook, they give me $5 back. Does that feel good? Yeah, great. We'll do that. Right. But no, I have built my following like organically. Do you pay for Stand Store? Yes, because it solves a problem in my business. Yes, because it nurtures clients for me while I sleep. Yes. I have a personal and business Insta. Which one should I be using for the funnels? I think we already answered that. What do you recommend to get more engagement comments if we haven't already? Consistency. Consistency. Like, I want you to think about yes or no, but actually by show of hands, because otherwise my chat will move. By show of hands, how many of you have kids? Okay. This is a great comment. What you're asking is, what do you recommend to get more engagement / comments? I want you to think about that as like, what do you recommend to like hit a home run? Right? If you have a kid, every time they get up to bat, is it unreasonable to expect a home run every single time they get up to bat? That's unreasonable, right? And what would your advice be to them if they wanted to increase their batting average? Swing the bat more. Swing the bat more. That's it. That's it. Now, you don't want to just be swinging blindly, right? You want your technique to be improving. So that means you need to look at your insights. If you're not checking your insights every single week, you're not going to see what's hitting and what's not, right? So that would be the equivalent of swinging the bat with your eyes closed and never looking to see where the ball goes. Does that make any sense? But if you're not checking your insights on Instagram, that's what you're doing. You're swinging the bat with your eyes closed and you're never looking to see where the ball goes. So what you want to check on your insights is you want to know which posts are getting the most views, which are getting the most reach, which are getting the most comments, right? And if you look at that every single week and you say, okay, this is the post that performed the best, I'm going to make my other post now look more like this post. right? Same as if I'm in the batter's box and I take 10 swings and, oh, well, swing 5 and 6 really worked out well. So I'm going to repeat that technique, right? It's the same thing. When you start the follow-up weekend, do you only use StanStore? I just use StanStore. You can use Zapier and whatever, but then they'll end up in both. Like they can end up in both. It's fine. Remember the 7-11-4 rule of marketing? You tell your kids to brush your teeth 20,000 times before they're 8 years old. 20,000 times. Okay, so go ahead and be repetitive. I use StanStore for my emails. What do you recommend to get more engagement comments? Okay, I answered that. How did you grow your Insta followers? This is a great question. I have been posting on Instagram for 10 years. Consistently. From like a business perspective. As a real estate agent for 7 years. Is it reasonable that I be pushing 100,000 followers? Is that reasonable now? Okay. So I will tell you that it's easier than ever to grow and scale on Instagram. It's much easier than when I started because you have the tools like ManyChat and ChatGPT and StanStore to like have your business like flow on the back end. For a long time, we were duct taping a lot of things together. Link in bio, and then you had this whole thing and blah, 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 blah. Like it's just, it's so much easier. Yes, John is answering your StanStore questions. P.S. John is the bomb, and he actually founded StanStore, so there's that. How about having a business and regular Facebook account? I'm not a Facebook expert, so Christine, you said, but you have a team. I don't care. You should still have a personal brand Instagram account because I'm going to tell you what. You want to know what's going to happen to those agents on their team? They're going to leave at some point, and you are the primary lead generator. I'm not saying that in a rude way. Like I have 4 kids and they're all going to leave too. I love them, but they're going to outgrow living with me. Your team agents are also going to outgrow doing transactions with you, right? That's just the way it is. Let's see. You are your brand. How often should we be posting content linked to StanStore? Here's what's so great. This is a great question. Literally, you could do it twice a day. You could do it twice a day. And you could say, okay, here's my content. I'm going to post how to hire a realtor, a home value report. Here's a city guide. Oh, here's a new build, how to buy a new build. Did you know you can negotiate on a new build, right? Like you should tell your clients that so they hire you to go and buy the house. So let's say those are your 4 free lead magnets. You could do that twice a day. And how many of you just raise your hand if you just had a cold chill go down your spine of like, oh my gosh, twice a day, what is my next door neighbor going to think? Or the random friend from high school that follows you. How many of you had that fear in your head? Raise your hand. Just own it. I'm like, if you're not raising your hand, you are a liar because you would be doing it otherwise. That's the thing that's holding you back. You're like, oh, that random person from high school. I literally do have a random person from high school that follows me. It's really funny. My husband and I laugh about it all of the time. Like all of the time. And you want to know what? I didn't care what that person thought in high school. Why the crap do I care 20 years later? Like, what are you talking about? And here's the other thing. They're actually not thinking about you as much as you're thinking about you. They're not. And when you post reels in the algorithm, they show all over the place. Like it's not a chronological feed. Like Instagram's goal is to keep people on the app, right? That is their goal. So like if they're going to serve your content up to the person that they think is going to enjoy it. So this is what I'm saying. It's like easier than ever to grow on Instagram right now because they're gonna bring you your people. If you post appropriately and you post consistently, Instagram will bring you your people. Yes or no, if you all found me on Instagram. Yes or no in the chat, if you all found me on Instagram. And wouldn't you look around this room, most of you probably operate as like a solo agent type business. And most of you are female. Well, wouldn't you know it? Because I talk about being a female solo agent all damn day. All damn day. I don't shut up about it. Right? That's all I talk about. I can't tell you how to build a team because I don't have a team. I don't run a big team model, right? So I don't teach on that. Okay. So that's the answer to that. You get to decide, Christine. If you have a team of agents and a business partner, are they never featured? You get to decide. You get to decide. You're the CEO. What would you do for a duo team with one business account? I wouldn't have a business account. I'm going back. I literally will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. How many of you had a job different than a real estate agent before you became a real estate agent? How many of you had a job prior that was totally different? Okay. So you're going to build a whole platform under a team name, and then maybe in 5 years you want to do interior design work, and it's like, well, but my handle is ABC Real Estate. Why would you do that? When it's just under your name, it will pivot with you forever. It will grow, like your brand has to be living and breathing. Like, do you know that brands spend tens of millions of dollars trying to humanize themselves? You're all already human. You're already human, and you're trying to like be this innate object. Just think about that for a second. The best thing you can do is be you. Look at me. I'm a 42-year-old mom of 4 who built this. This is my home office. I had someone literally text message me and was like, they want to sit down. They basically want me to help them build their business, and they're going to pay me. And they're like, yeah, we want to like partner with you. He's a home builder. He owns like whatever. And they're like, yeah, we'll come to your office. Like, they're trying to make it easy to meet with me by saying, we'll come to your office. Like, we'll come to you. Whatever you need, Amy, we're coming to you. Why? Because I have a huge platform that they want access to. This is my office. What do you say? What do you casually say? Why don't you come over after dinner time? I will say that because it's funny, right? And that's me being me, right? That's what makes it relatable, is that you all know that I built this with a baby on my hip. And so many of you are hiding that. Whatever your baby on your hip is, like, do you think it felt comfortable? Like going in, I had earlier, I was pregnant with baby number 4. That baby is now in 1st grade. This is my 1st year in real estate, pregnant with baby number 4. Kinkle's pregnant. It's September in Arizona, hotter than Hades. And this is a developer in Paradise Valley that's, would be a $10 million house today. Oh, Amy, can you come and we want you to feature our house on your Instagram stories? And I'm like, oh, wow, okay, sure. I feel a little uncomfortable. I have one dress that fits. I'm driving a minivan with crushed crushed goldfish in the seats. And I'm like, why are they reaching? Like, I'm dying. Literally, I'm dying. Okay. I call my mom and I'm like, I'm gonna need to trade cars with you. Like, I cannot show up in a minivan 9 months pregnant. It's just too much. So I trade cars with my mom. I go and I do the thing. What's interesting is I go in, and you want to know what they had for me? They had Diet Coke on the counter and cinnamon rolls on the counter. So they're like, oh yeah, our wives told us that we should have you start touring our homes so that more people see them. And they said, oh, you make sure you have like Diet Coke and cinnamon rolls for her. Because I'd been making cinnamon rolls or something on my Instagram recently. How wild is that? That's wild. That is like, no one, like, it's that sharing of that is like makes you relatable to people. Okay. So don't hide that. Let's see. Reels or pictures. You know what? Reels are great. Carousels are also performing really, really well. Let's see. What are we providing? We're providing a search link. Do you force the user to register? You would just use the ManyChat automation to deliver that link of like the home value report, right? Because it'll collect its info. They'll collect when they go on that link, it will collect their information. Yes, I use Stanford for all my email marketing. How do we get more followers authentic? I think I answered that. How do you plan what to post? Do you have I don't. I've just been doing it so long that I can now do it just off the hip. It's kind of like, how many of you like have recipes that you've made a million times that now you just can like make it from memory? right? It's part of my daily schedule. I wake up, I do my thing, I post my content, I move on. Okay. We're not going to get stuck in the scroll. So many of you just, I'm scrolling for ideas. No, post. Post. Yes, you'll get the recording of this. Let's see. I'm looking to see if there's any questions I haven't answered. No, don't delete posts. Don't delete posts if they don't perform well. It doesn't matter. Should you share to Facebook? I'm not a Facebook expert. Mine just automatically shares to Facebook. I don't really care. Like, tell people where the party is. Everyone knows to find me on Instagram. Like, I don't have business cards. DM me. DM me. And that is how business is getting done. Like, genuinely. Like, that's how relationships are being formed. Okay. Are your real estate clients ever turned off by the fact that most of your content is geared towards agents? This is a great question. And Christine, remember I said transactions are the beginning. They're not the end. Transactions are the beginning, right? So I've closed over 10 million this year, but I can do my transaction arm in about 10 hours a week. I'm not going to play small and only do transactions, right? Why? Are you glad that I'm teaching agents, that I'm teaching you how to do this? Okay, right? So there's a couple of ways you can scale transactions. You say, well, I like doing about 10 million in production, and I can do that probably in less than 10 hours a week, right? Why? Because I've increased my price point, I've decreased my commute, and I'm listing heavy. And that was a decision I made. Okay. Because this is a business. This isn't like, oh, Amy's doing this for funsies and I owe someone something. I don't owe anyone anything. Right. There are certain deals I don't pick up because I'm like, one, I'm not the best agent for, or two, that client's difficult. I don't deal with difficult clients. I don't want to. Right. So there's deals I leave on the table. I have a referral arm, but then you say, well, how do you like actually scale more transactions? There's 300 of you that opted in for this. And if 300 of you go pull a transaction from this, I've just influenced 300 more transactions. Right? So you have to think about how you're going to scale your business without hating your life. Okay? And most agents won't share their secret sauce. Why? I can assure you that no agent inside your local firm, actually, let's just ask the question. You all have brokers. Have any of your brokers taught you how to lead generate like this? Yes or no? Feels like a problem, if you ask me. Right? And here's the reason why. This is my next question for you. Does your broker, and here's another question to ask you. Sorry, my ADD is flipping out on me. Is there an agent inside your local brokerage that is going to, if they know how to do this, is there any reason they would teach you how to do it? Yes or no? Why? Yeah, the brokers don't even know how to do it. But also, I'm going to pick on Andrea. She's right next to me. If Andrea and I are at the same firm and I know how to lead generate like this, and we live in a town with, 100,000 people, do you think I'm telling Andrea how I'm closing so many transactions? No, why would I? Like, why would I? There's zero incentive for me to do that for her, right? This is not an EXP university because this is me teaching on my personal brand. This is my personal brand. My account is Amy Gregory. I own Amy Gregory. I am Amy Gregory, right? EXP doesn't own me. I own me. Your broker doesn't own you. You own you, right? No, it's not an EXP university. This is mine, right? This is in my storefront. Okay. I did build through EXP though, because that's how I can scale transactions without hating my life. Is I can go and create rooms like this. We have rooms like this I have over 500 agents in my group, and we meet every single Tuesday. This is what I teach them. They've already been taught how to do this. You are seeing them deploy it. Okay. Because we have a relationship with them. Okay. Any other questions? So the question that my next question is, do I offer one-on-one calls to discuss EXP? I do. You can schedule a call on my calendar here. Oops, hang on. This is still on Calendly, but I'm going to move it to Stan's store. Do I have group coaching? I do not. I only offer group coaching and one-on-one coaching inside my EXP network because it's grown so big. The bandwidth doesn't allow. Would you guys be interested in one-on-one coaching or small group coaching? Yes or no in the chat. Okay. I will consider opening up a few spots, and I will shoot you an email. I'll let you guys know first. Does that sound fair? Okay. Thank you so much for joining with us today. I will email you the links that you need for Stan Store and ManyChat to get started. And I want to know what your big takeaway is. What are you going to do this week? It's great that you know. Now you know. But if you don't do something, it literally doesn't matter. So I want to know, what are you doing this week? Drop it in the chat. Be specific. I'm setting up my Stan Store. I'm setting up my ManyChat. What is it? Yeah, the home run store, the home run analogy, like get in the batter's box. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. Should we do these again? Do you like these little one-off classes? Okay, I think we'll do some more of these. So thanks so much for being here. The recording will be sent to you shortly. So nice meeting you all. Bye.